Hello, neighbors. Christina Rader with Exit Realty, and I have shared with you a market report that is specific to our neighborhood. Specifically, I pulled data from south of Highway 20 to Mount Carmel, and then just on the real east side of South Grandview to Sunset Ridge and Fremont. So that whole area is what we're talking about in this report. So it's very specific for our neighborhood. I'm going to share my screen and walk you through what this report means. So this first graph here shows us how many days a house is on the market before they receive an accepted offer. And you can see in the last 12 months, that's 20 days. That is really good. And you can see a whole bunch of blue dots there bunched up on the left side of that that are even faster than 20 days. So that really is unbelievable. And it's an indicator of a seller's market for sure. The next graph, what are the odds of selling? 91% odds of selling based on the last 12 months of activity. And it is still very much a seller's market. You can see there's 1.1 month of inventory available right now. This is very indicative of being in the seller's favor. In order for it to become a buyer's market or a more neutral market, you want to see it to be like 4 to 5. That's kind of neutral. Then 6 months, it swings over into a buyer's market. So we are definitely still in a seller's market, even with the increased rates that we're seeing. And we are anticipating it to continue this year just because there's simply not enough homes in the Dubuque area for the amount of buyers and the buyer demand that we have. The next chart shows when most houses are selling. So you'll see June, July, and August, which isn't surprising. What is a little surprising is that September number and how high that jumped up. And you wouldn't expect that, especially with school being back in session. Normally you don't see that. But again, I think it's an indicator of sellers realizing cold weather's coming and they want to sell before the market before the weather turns, and they may have been afraid of those increased rates as well. So that might have given them a little extra incentive as well. And that is right before rates started to increase. So yeah. Then the last graph we have there is a scattergram. This is based on total square footage. So how many square feet did the house have compared to the price that it sold at? Those blue dots are all homes that sold. The red line is the average. So if you want to find an approximate value for your house, you would look at the total square foot that you have in your house, run that up to the red line, and then look across the left to see where your dollar value falls. Now, if your house has a lot of luxury finishes, the things that people are looking for, it's all updated and modern, doesn't need any repairs, you could definitely fall above that red line. If your house needs a new roof or new windows or is just simply outdated, you would probably fall below that red line. So to really get an accurate valuation of where your specific house would fall, I would encourage you to have a conversation with a realtor about that. I would be happy to have that conversation with you if that's something that you're considering. If you just, for tax purposes and you want to know, is your assessed value too high? I'd be happy to have that conversation with you and help you make a case, to get your assessment lowered if necessary. Or if it's a case of I'm thinking about selling, I'd love to have that conversation with you as well. Or if you simply have any other questions or questions about this specific report, give me a call, 563-580-5657. Take care.